Hey guys, I've been gone for 4 or 5 days. I was traveling, got sick, lost my voice, all that good stuff, but I'm back. All right, let's talk a little bit more about the mindset piece that we've been talking about. Here's something you have to remember with the mindset. And the reason I stress with mindset, the positive mental attitude. All right, so we have mindset. That's our overarching focus, right? That's the number one thing. We've got to have this piece in place. Nothing else matters. If you don't have this, you're useless. There's a pretty famous quote. I believe it's by Heinlein, but I'm not 100% sure on that, where he talks about that the brain is the ultimate weapon. Everything else is a supplement. That's what we're talking about right there. We talked last time a little bit about adaptability and all that stuff. This time, let's get a little more into the nuts and bolts. The number one thing that we have to practice is a positive mental attitude. We've got to practice this. This does not come natural. It's not easy. It's like anything else. It is a muscle. Consider it like any skill. You have to practice it. You have to develop it for it to be natural. You see those athletes that they're just so graceful. They just flow. They pull up and they hit the jumper and it's just like poetry in motion. That's been rehearsed thousands upon thousands of times. Who knows? They probably lost count. But the bottom line is that's a skill that they practiced until they could do it at will. The same, positive mental attitude is a skill. And why is this important? Because we want to remain solution focused. Out of a positive mindset or a positive mental attitude comes a solution oriented approach, right? We're always looking at the answer, not the problem. We're always looking for the answer rather, and not looking at the problem. We are constantly focused on, how do I solve this situation? How do I resolve this? How do I make this work out for my good? Now, there's a couple things, practical things you could do. The 7-Day Mental Diet by Dr. Emmett Fox. Hold on. Hey, stop, cats. The 7-Day Mental Diet by Dr. Emmett Fox. These little booklets, they're 22 pages, and they are a game changer. I have read this probably 1,000 times. I got this when I was just a kid. It's a very simple exercise. I'm going to break it down for you. They're literally pennies. I would suggest buying them just to support whoever is keeping this in print. But you can also get it as a free PDF download. I've talked to folks that have found those out there as well. But here's the premise. The premise is that I am going to go without a negative thought. And what does that mean as far as a negative thought? Well, the negative thought, it's not the negative thought. It's similar to meditation. It's not the negative thought, it's hanging on to it, right? So when we do our centering prayer or we do our meditation, of course thoughts are going to arise. We want to pay attention to the thoughts that arise because that tells us a little something about ourselves. However, we don't want to hang on to those thoughts. It's like sitting by a river and you're just watching a leaf float by. That thought just floats by and you let it go. You attach no value to it. You don't hang on to it. You don't dwell on it. You don't spiral out. It's the same with the negative thought. The negative thought is passing by, right? So negative, I'm just going to go negative TH, right? That negative thought is passing by. I've got a bill due, I've got this, or I'm having this issue with my significant other, with my kids, with my coworkers. There's always something in life, right? But rather than focus on the negative thought, rather than focus on the negative aspects, we want to quickly pull ourselves away from dwelling on that negative and focus on the positive. In other words, how do I resolve this situation? How do I make this situation better? How do I come up with a solution rather than continue to focus on the problem? We are going to train ourselves over the next 7 days to not attach to a negative thought. Anytime a negative thought comes up, we want to observe it and start looking for a solution. Start looking for the positive. Why is this happening for me? Why is this happening because of me? What can I do to resolve this quickly? What can I do to enact a long-term resolution? I hope that makes sense. That's what we want to focus on. It's not that you're not going to have a negative thought. It's that you're not going to dwell on this, but you're going to quickly circle to the solution, which is the positive mental attitude. That's the whole point of that, is to keep ourselves solution focused. That's from the 7-Day Mental Diet, which is a tiny little booklet. I said 22 pages, and it's a great exercise. Now, with the mental diet, what happens when we have a negative thought and we spiral out of control? I treat it like diet, like anything else. Let's say you go out with some friends and you get tempted and you go off your diet. You eat some stuff you're not supposed to, you go over your calories for the day or whatever, you mess up. Do you just lose your mind, go completely off the rails, just start eating everything you can find? Or do you tell yourself, it's okay, I messed up, but my diet, I'm right back on track with my next meal, with the next thing I eat, the next thing I drink, right on track again. That's how simple it is. People beat themselves up and then it becomes, well, I'll wait till Monday, or I'll wait until a holiday, or I'll wait until this special event. No, your very next meal, decide, act. It's the same with this. Did I mess up? Did I go too far on a negative thought? Did I dwell? Did I spin out? Did I give in to the negativity and allow it to overcome me and become problem focused? Yes. Can I get myself back on track? Absolutely, with my next thought. Can I immediately turn it around and go, how do I come up with a solution? How do I focus on the positive? The way that I do that is when I find myself spinning out, I find 3 things that I'm grateful for. There are 3 things that I'm absolutely thankful for, and I will focus on those 3 things, take a moment. For me, I do kind of like a centering prayer where I just am thankful for those 3 things that have happened, or those 3 things that I have, and I express gratitude, and then I immediately get back on track. The other thing that you could do is physical exercise. I'll go out and go for a run. I'll go lift some weights. I'll drop down, do some push-ups, sit-ups back to back, 25 push-ups, 25 sit-ups, and just do those for as long as I can. Or I'll do 100 burpees. I'll do something where I get my body moving. Your body is a giant pharmacy full of feel-good chemicals. And the easiest way to alter your state is to get those chemicals pumping through your system and get feeling good. Those are the steps I take to get myself back on track when this goes too far. Now, in the book, Dr. Fox recommends taking a few days off when you've had a negative. I don't subscribe to that. I look at it like when you have a bad roll on the mat, or somebody has a panic attack, or you miss a lift, or whatever the case may be, you shank a shot, man, you just rip that thing and don't nowhere near your performance. What do? Do you wrap it up and go home? Do you walk off the mat and burn your gi? No. Do you tell the people at the gym to cancel your membership, you're not lifting weights anymore? No. You go right back at it. You take a moment, reset, and get back in there. And it's the same with this. I massive respect to Dr. Mehmet Fox for writing this book back in the 30s. It's kind of cool. The verbiage and stuff in there is still the same. Massive respect to him for writing that book. However, I don't subscribe to taking a couple days off and then coming back to it. Just like I wouldn't if you had a bad day with your nutritional plan, would not tell you to now, well, go ahead, eat some ice cream for 3 or 4 days. Go ahead, lay around on a couch for 3 or 4 days and do nothing. And then we'll get back at it on Monday. I don't believe in that. Immediately back to the solution, positive mental attitude, using gratitude, right? Massive gratitude to get myself on track, using exercise, which is also an expression of gratitude. For me, when I'm working out, when I'm doing burpees or I'm going for a run or anything like that, it is a massive expression of gratitude to the world, to God, the universe, just saying thank you for the ability to do this. I have friends who don't have this ability, and so I don't want to take it for granted. I don't want to ever squander a opportunity to do the things that I know personal friends of mine would do anything to be able to do. And so I never want to take that lightly. Again, exercise, gratitude gets me back on track and then helps me become solution oriented. Now, why does this matter for self-protection, being a capable citizen, all those things? Absolutely, 100% matters, because here's the thing. When everything's going wrong, when everything's falling apart, right? What are you going to do, right? Who's going to come through for your family? Who's going to come through for your community? Who's going to come through for you? What if it's you by yourself? You take a fall out on a trail, you get in a single vehicle accident, roll over. What are you going to do, right? You're going to start looking for a solution, because you got this positive mental attitude that is habitual. It's just who you are. It's not something you have to consciously do, because if you practice this long enough, it just becomes who you are. It becomes habitual. You look for a solution immediately, no matter what the circumstances, right? You believe in yourself. You know that you have the answer. You can find the answer. You know your abilities, right? Your capabilities. You have trained. And so when the problem arises, you immediately know that your capabilities are there. You have the belief in yourself. You're a proven quantity. You've proven to yourself and to everyone else that you can come through, that you can find a solution, and then you do it. You act. That's about it for today. We'll go a little further into this. I'm starting to lose my voice, but I really want you guys to think about the role of positive mental attitude in mindset, particularly for self-protection and to be a capable citizen. If you can't figure something out, if you are not practiced at being solution-oriented, if you don't have a positive mental attitude because of your constant day in, day out mental diet, if you're not taking the steps to make yourself proactive in the moment of truth, when everything hits the wall or hits the fan, you're not suddenly going to be a game time player. You're not suddenly going to go from this negative person who only focuses on problems to suddenly being a problem solver who is capable and unstoppable and indomitable. That's something that you have to develop through daily practice. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one.